Welcome back to a.k.a. ASMR. So, for today's video, I'm going to be reading some scary stories to you guys. So yeah, I just picked like 3 scary stories. I wanted to pick more, but I couldn't find any. So yeah, I chose these 3 from Reddit, I believe. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, so I'm just gonna be reading it from my other phone really quick. So I'm just gonna pull it up. So the first one, I'm gonna save the longest one for last, I think. Which I don't know if it's a good idea, but I don't know. I'm just gonna do it. Was this one of them? No, it wasn't that one. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm trying not to breathe into the mic. But yeah, I'm gonna read this one. It's called It Was Good to See an Old Friend. An old friend, an old friend. So it says, when I was 37, I went to my high school reunion. I flew into the nearest airport and rented a car. The distance was about 35 miles through a very rural and almost abandoned part of the country. About 3 miles outside of town, I see someone on the side of the road flagging me down. It turned out that it was one of the guys I had attended school with. Jim gets in the car and we start talking. I had not seen him in 20 years, but he still looked the same, maybe a little older. We get to town and I ask him if he wants to come to the VFW and have a drink. He says no, just take me home. Jim's parents had lived only a few blocks from my grandmother's house, and I turned in that direction, but he said to take him to the outskirts of town. There was a mobile home park out there, and I figured that it was where he lived. When we reached the end of the turn off, he said, just drop me here. It was good to see you again, and he walks off into the night. I go to the VFW, met some of my old classmates. We started to talk. As we are talking about who was coming to the reunion, I mentioned that I had just picked Jim up 3 miles east of town and had dropped him off. Everyone gets quiet. Even the guy singing karaoke stops and lays down the mic. My cousin goes white as a new t-shirt. Barb, Jim died on that curve 8 years ago. Rolled his car. We were all at his funeral. I was told. I started to feel really dizzy, and I went out to the car to take some deep breaths. There on the seat is the local newspaper printed 8 years previous, containing Jim obituary. I still have the paper. So yeah, that was the first one. That one was actually really creepy. So tell me, wait, if my comments are not disabled, tell me what you guys think about that one. It was creepy. If that happened to me, I don't even know what I would do. Okay, so the next one. Sorry guys, if I'm breathing into the mic, I can't tell if I am or not, but it's really hard because I'm getting out of breath. So, okay, sorry. massive graveyard. We stopped and walked down a hill and came across a little pond. There was someone sitting on a rock on the other side of the pond. The figure was all black. We couldn't make out any features other than the fact that it looked like a man who was wearing some old style top hat. We stupidly waved and shouted hi. He didn't show any acknowledgement and continued sitting still on the rock. All of a sudden he jumped to his feet, started running to us on the water, and then vanished in thin water about halfway on the pond. My friends and I screamed and ran back to the car. The car wouldn't start, and we heard something banging on the back of the car. It wasn't a constant bang, but every few seconds or so we'd hear it. Where was it? I just lost my place that fast. Oh, nobody was outside from what we could see in the dark, but something was making a noise on the car. I opened my phone and started dialing my mom to come give us a boost, but I had no service. None of us had any cell service. The next 30 minutes were spent trying to get her car started. No banging was heard afterwards, but we felt this heavy pressure around us. Finally, the car started and she hit the pedal to the metal. We sped out of the graveyard so fast. Immediately crossing the gates, all of our phones regained cell service. One thing I know for certain is that someone or something was out there, and it was not an animal or a human. So, yeah, that was the second story. That one was creepy as well. Really scary. Okay, well, I wasn't in a graveyard, obviously, but, me and my, one of my friends, sorry guys, this is kind of off topic, but me and one of my friends, were coming back from, like, by my old house, there was a park, it was a school, but, there was a playground and stuff, so I think we were just coming back from there, or something, but basically, we were going and walking to my house, back to my house, and we literally, guys, I'm not joking, it was really dark outside because it was night, and we looked over, and I lived in, like, condos, so there was, like, a bunch of other houses, but there was, like, the middle part where the grass, like, it was just, like, a bunch of grass and trees right there, and guys, I'm so serious, there was a really, really tall black figure, guys, like, with no features at all, I'm so serious, like, both me and my friend saw it at the exact same time. He was really tall, like, literally, like, it was really tall, and it was, like, literally, like, probably the size of the tree, like, a little under the tree size, so it was really tall, and it had no features, none, and then we saw it, and then when we saw it, it started running, like, I'm not joking, it started running, and then we both sprinted off towards my house, and, like, I'm not joking, guys, I'm so dead serious, like, that was the most terrifying night, like, I will never forget that. Me and her both remember to this day, so I'm not lying, but yeah, that was I kind of thought about that when I read this. Sorry guys, ignore my chair. Okay, so, oh my god, stop, why is it doing that? Guys, 1 second while I adjust myself, I'm just gonna mute you really fast. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna read the last one, which is the longest one. And this one I did not read yet. I only read, like, less than one paragraph of it, so I don't really know what's gonna be in it. wall. Oh my gosh. Guys, 1 second. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I'm back. So, I'm gonna reread where I left off. So it says, he was declared AWOL, and eventually he was declared missing and dead. 10 years later, a 7-foot tall man walked into a VA hospital emergency room in my part of the Midwest and said to the receptionist, "My name is Marian Duchesne." Oh, is this not the real name? "And I've been dead for 10 years. Okay, those were the last words he ever spoke. Okay, well, that's a little scary. He was covered with dust and he was wearing the same clothes he had been reported to be wearing the night he vanished. His social security number had not been used and he had no identification on his person. However, they were able to identify him, I guess via fingerprints. The family was notified, but they said they had already grieved their lost man and that whomever was claiming to be him simply could not be. They demanded not to be contacted again." But, okay, I guess. Marion, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that, paced all day, every day, moving his mouth that looked like talking or muttering, but no sound came out. He had an unnerving habit of throwing his head back with his mouth wide open as if he were laughing heartily, but not even a breath could be heard. If I talked to him, he appeared to listen, periodically throwing his head back in that laughter mimicking way of his. Various medications were tried, but they did not affect him either positively or negatively. Occupational therapy did nothing because Marion would just grin and unless told to stay put, he'd get up and start pacing again. On my last day at that job, the last thing I saw was Marion pacing in the parking lot, throwing his head back to laugh. Later, I wondered if all along I'd been dealing with a ghost. All these years later, I still don't know. Well then, that one was really interesting actually. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, that was really interesting actually. I want to see if I can find one more, but I don't think I will be able to. Sorry if you guys don't like mouth sounds. I'm gonna see if I can find one more. Sorry guys, if I'm breathing into the mic. Oh my gosh, that was really loud. I'm so sorry guys. wasn't